Hey! It's time for another Halloween movie marathon. Can you guess which one? We are going to do all 10 movies in the Halloween franchise. We've got Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers, Curse of Michael Myers, H2O, and Resurrection, and then the 2 Rob Zombie ones. We are going to do them all in a row, time-lapsing, giving reviews in between. We'll see how the Halloween marathon stands against the Night Marathon that we did last year with all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Want to say anything, Michael? He doesn't really talk. He's not a talker. Ugh. Once again, we have Phil. This is Sellers without the Michael Myers accoutrement. And we are going to start with Halloween 1 here. It is currently 8:05.
We'll see. The clock up front.
We'll see how these... Yep. Dude, you guys ready?
You want to go out later?
My badge says yes. So he's wearing a mask. And over top of the mask,
he can't see. Anyway,
he's wearing the sheet and those glasses
that aren't prescribed to him.
What size that knife? I'm gonna hold onto it this time.
For real. But again,
So that was Halloween 1. Again, those are gonna be spoilers. Spoilers galore.
Yep.
For the entire Halloween.
If you haven't seen the first Halloween anyway, then just turn this off.
Halloween 1 kind of launched the popularization of the slasher genre. Awesome. Plot breakdown. Little boy stabs his sister on Halloween night, gets locked up. It was like 63 to 78, so 15 years later. He comes back to his hometown, gets a mask, and starts icing babysitters. You spend an hour hanging out with the babysitters while they kind of joke around and make fun of each other for not having sex.
get high.
Yeah, get a little high. And then Michael Myers starts taking them apart, one at a time, strangling and stabbing. But there is a surprisingly low body count in this flick.
Yeah, there are. 4. The 2 babysitters, the boyfriend of the babysitter, and the guy he kills to get the jumps, the
right.
jumpsuit.
That wasn't even an on-screen kill. And
Right.
his sister.
And his sister. So 5.
What do you guys think? Halloween 1.
Classic. It's definitely classic. It holds a bunch of the themes, half doorway scares, and it laid a lot of foundation. The music too, of course.
The Halloween score is one of the most recognizable horror themes. Oh, this is Tommy Martin, and he joined us right at the beginning of Halloween 1 here. It's just really slowly paced, spends a lot of time with setup, and then the last 15 or so minutes is like super tense and awesome because you spent, you know, an hour and 15 minutes just kind of
getting build up and
getting a lot of build up and tension.
We don't establish why he's hunting Jamie Lee Curtis in this one, right?
No, not at all.
It's just like,
it's random.
I hate babysitters, so I'm going to murder as many as I can find.
So now we go on to Halloween 2.
And the score, since we mentioned the score, it's credited to the Bowling Green Philharmonic because that's a reference to his childhood home in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Everyone has the hugest butcher knives in Haddonfield.
A mental patient.
Dang!
It's so poorly lit. I hate this hospital.
It's an emergency.
I'm watching my fish. Damn it!
You didn't see all of that.
Dude, you're standing in like a lake of blood.
Yeah, how did you not see that?
It's actually flowed into major surgery at this point.
You really...
Oh!
How did you not see that?
That was Halloween 2, the exact same night. Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is driven to the hospital where she, you know, is just kind of laying around in bed for half the movie.
Yeah.
And then Michael Myers shows up at the hospital and starts killing the entire hospital staff.
You'd think would be a lot of people because it's an entire staff, but it was like six people.
Yeah.
Including a very innocent pillow.
Yeah, there were a lot more kills.
Brutal kills.
Creative, yeah.
Yeah, he started upping the creativity this time.
Syringe in the eye.
Yeah, and he syringed air into somebody's brain.
Yeah.
Air bubble in the brain.
So 2
and
syringe kills, 1 hammer kill.
The burn.
The burn
The
in
burn.
the hot tub. He hooked up an IV to a nurse and let her bleed out while she was laying on a bed. Again, not a lot of plot. The most tension happens at the end when he starts chasing Jamie Lee. You know? The other people, you're just kind of waiting to see how he knocks off.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's how creative or ridiculous can the kill get? Not whether are you gonna live? No, we know you're gonna die.
Yep. Really cool part at the end is him getting shot in both eyes and having to kind of listen for where he's, and he just kind of does it by swinging his arm around with a scalpel. But I thought that was pretty sweet.
The imagery of the blood coming out as tears out of his eyes, that was actually pretty sweet.
There are a few more logic gaps in this one, and it was the darkest hospital ever, but it was still an enjoyable flick, I thought.
I hope I had the serious injury where I have to go to Haddonfield for some reason, just so I can be one of one patient in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even Razorblade Kid was in and out. Freaking Jamie Lee Curtis has a cut on her arm and a fractured foot, and she's there for 3 weeks.
On to Halloween 3.
Woo!
Season of the Witch.
The good one.
Oh!
Whoa!
That was messed up. Nice shot.
They for sure pegged up. Yep. Nobody stops for stop signs in this town.
No.
Nobody.
Eliza, there's knitting.
Yeah?
Whoa! No.
Good news is now he doesn't have to explain that to any of the women he's sleeping with.
Right.
Now I beheaded.
Yeah.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. They decided they were going to do like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing. Like now what American Horror Story is doing, where each season is a different story entirely. So that's what they did with Season of the Witch. Where the other movies are like straight up slasher flicks. This one, Druid Witches story.
Yep. A company that makes masks and distributes them throughout the country. A guy goes into a hospital, freaking out, clutching a mask. He says, they're all gonna kill us. And a dude comes in and kills this dude. And then the doctor goes, why'd he die? He was clutching this mask. He goes to the factory where they're making the masks.
With his daughter,
With
the guy's daughter.
With the dead guy's daughter, who's like 18. And they have an affair and stuff. And then they find out that this crazy guy who believes in witchcraft and practices it got pieces of Stonehenge in his factory, puts pieces of it in the masks. You wear the mask and you watch this TV ad that they're airing, your head implodes and snakes come out of it?
Yeah, it has some kind of magic thing happen.
Some weird magical, they're sacrificing people for the sake of witchcraft, and then you die.
It does end up with us not knowing whether he stops them or not, and all millions of kids might be dying as the credits roll.
Oh, I assume they are. I liked, in my mythology, the children are all dead.
People hated this because Michael Myers was not in it.
It has nothing to do with the Michael Myers legacy. Nothing.
Right. So when you're expecting a slasher and you get like this sci-fi kind of witchcraft thing, people weren't into it. But I kind of like it. It's got a nice pace to it. It's not one of those things where like they have one thing going on, it takes forever to get to it, and you're just sitting there. They have a series of steps that they go through. It keeps you with it. It might be the goriest of them.
It's pretty gory.
Yeah, there's like a robot rips a guy's head off his shoulders.
It doesn't compete with the Rob Zombie ones.
Well, sure.
Sure.
Kids, if you're watching, make your own costume.
Yeah. If you're geared up to watch a bunch of slasher flicks, this will be a shocker to you.
Yep.
It does feel like a serious shift.
I have a hard time imagining I'll be able to.
I'm trying.
The guy, according to the movie, has killed 16 people, and they're going to put one female doctor in the back with him?
He's already got a body count of 4.
More.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
You count, there's also
2
2
people in the
ambulance
ambulance.
drivers. There's 4 people in the ambulance total. 2 doctors, 2 drivers.
Oh. So
we're already looking at 6 people within the first couple minutes.
That's his way of killing the power to the whole town. Throwing a dude on the...
one guy on a transformer.
It's effective, I guess. What? That is ridiculous.
That would not happen. What?
I miss.
He just impaled a chick with a gun.
Damn it.
Halloween 4. The return of Michael Myers. Michael in a sanitarium. He did not get burned like we saw him burned to death at the end of 2.
And his hand was scarred.
Yeah, so did Dr. Loomis. We didn't really mention Loomis. Loomis was a psychiatrist when Michael was a young boy right after killing his sister, and he's kind of like his Van Helsing. Like, he's the guy who's always chasing him down, being like, he's evil!
He's the captain. He's Captain Ahab.
Yeah, they're transferring Michael Myers for some reason. He's been comatose for like a while, and then he hears that he has a niece. Jamie Lee Curtis's character apparently had a daughter, and so he has to stop being comatose and go find her and kill her. And they say that Jamie Lee Curtis died in a car crash or something.
Sure.
So Michael Myers goes to the town and kills everybody.
Practically everybody, like almost the whole police force, except for like a cop.
Yeah.
Some hillbillies had to bite it.
People
Yeah.
people are in a
R.I.P.
way.
R.I.P. Hills.
I felt like this one was a lot slower than what we've been watching so far.
It was,
Yeah.
like we said, it started fast.
Yeah, like within the first 20
Well, it's
minutes,
kinda
there's
set
6 deaths. And then for the next hour, there's 0. And then at the end, there's another, 4 or 5.
It doesn't have the kind of the energy of where they have this task and then the next task that they have to do. It's like, we know we have to get to the end of the movie. Let's have them like barricade the house and stand around. Michael is also upped more his strength factor. Shoves a shotgun through a girl.
He shoves shotgun through a girl. He
That was-
kills 2 people by basically crushing their face. At the very end, the niece that they were trying to protect the whole time ends up killing her stepsister.
No, mom.
Her
Her
stepmom.
stepmom. It mimics the very opening of the first Halloween where you see just through the eye hole mask.
She's in a clown costume, puts on the mask, her mom's drawing her a bath, grabs a pair of scissors, and just straight up kills her.
Yeah,
Just-
well, you don't see it, but like she's standing at the top of the stairs with like bloody scissors. It's one of the lasting images, probably, of the Halloween series for
Yup.
me. It's little Danielle Harris in a clown costume holding bloody scissors.
As
It's actually all I think about.
So far, it's been the weakest one for me.
Counting Season of the Witch?
I like Season of the Witch more.
I like this more than Season of the Witch.
Okay.
Overall, I still think there were better things than Halloween 2. Like, I think a lot more happened.
You think
in
this? In this?
Overall, yeah.
I don't know. Like
Halloween
Halloween
2
2
had
kept
the-
pulling me through.
Halloween 2 had
I'm
the
okay
creative
with.
kills, though.
Well, that's true.
And it also, like, in the 3 movies prior to this, I never once felt myself, like, my eyelids drooping, like,
yeah, okay, no, that's true.
Like,
this
this
was
one-
absolutely the slowest.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of hoping 5 is a little faster. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael
Revengeing.
Myers.
Good thing Loomis is just always around.
Yeah.
Good thing he's always looming.
Is she like the Dream Warrior now?
Yeah.
The guys in the Halloween movies are the worst.
Yup.
They are.
They're all just a bunch of skeezy D-bags.
Oh!
Sounded different.
Sounded like a head being cut off by sight.
Loomis is offing her up, huh?
That's what I do.
Phil, that was your original plan.
That Halloween 1. So, in Halloween 5, we pick up on the exciting conclusion of Halloween 4 where the girl was a serial killer, maybe. She's crazy, lost her voice, she's in a mental asylum,
Yep.
and for some reason now has telekinetic powers that she can connect to Michael Myers.
But only for the beginning.
Only for the beginning. He survives, kills a very nice pirate,
Yeah.
who essentially took him in under his wing.
Yeah,
Quite
just a guy
amazing.
living in a cabin.
He decides to continue trying his plot to kill her. She tries to save her family by using her powers. She regains her voice. People die at a party, a lot of sex.
There's a little sex.
There's a
little
little.
There's a lot of kittens.
Yeah, there's some kittens.
Lots of kittens.
Ominous foreshadowing of man in boots.
Some mysterious guy in black boots the whole time who you never see his face
No.
is just walking
Just the
around and at the
boots.
end springs
Yeah.
Michael Myers free of jail
Yeah.
with
End of movie.
stuff
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
wins.
and Loomis has still survived a million stab wounds now at
The
this
burnings
point.
and
The
yeah.
burnings. He is as indestructible as Michael Myers.
This movie was really boring too. There was
Yeah, really
one
was.
really solid part. Jamie, the little girl, is trying to escape from him. Nobody else is in the house, and she uses the laundry chute
Yep.
to get away. And I thought that good and intense.
Yeah.
But the rest was Dollsville, man.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
I loved the fact that after the laundry chute scene and Loomis once again appears out of nowhere in the house, he is like, look, take her, you know she's the one you want.
That's a really good
That
Loomis.
is an amazing
That is
Loomis.
a fantastic Loomis.
He
Home Alone
drops
trap.
a net, it's chain netting that's on the ceiling and drops on him, and then he proceeds to shoot him with a tranquilizer gun and then beats him with a 2x4.
Yeah. Jamie is a good little actress, though.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Danielle Harris is good
Yeah.
in these flicks.
Yep.
Pleasance also brings the noise. He doesn't have a great plan when it comes to defeating Michael Myers, but he
He's
brings a
got
lot of
something.
legitimacy to his belief
Yeah.
in what's going
Yep.
on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And this one had the most annoying group of teenagers.
This is the first one where you actively root for Michael Myers.
Yeah, to kill them as
Basic.
fast as
Yeah, I
possible.
mean, like,
Yep.
4 or 5, which one's better?
Of 4 or 5,
Yeah.
I like 4 because it has way more satisfying ending than this.
the ending of 4 is the best part of either of them. But I might root for this one, actually.
Yeah.
I
Why?
might root
Because
for
all,
5.
because all the annoying
Because I
teenagers
yawned
get killed?
less.
Have we seen a No Pants Annie in every movie so far?
Yeah,
Yes.
in every movie. That's a good point.
There's been a No Pants Annie in every one.
Yeah, in every movie there is a girl wearing an oversized shirt and that's it.
What appears to be a guy's shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
And
guy's
is walking
shirt, yeah.
around the house. Just
That might
no
be
pants.
part of the Halloween credo. We'll find out as we continue in Halloween, The Curse of Michael
my
Myers.
The curse. Oh!
Whoa, damn.
Okay. Okay.
No
it
way.
seems like he uses electricity almost as much as he uses his knife.
Yeah. He stopped using a knife a long time ago. Run, get back up.
Cut off her hair. We don't need that hair.
Do something right. Halloween 6 begins. Jamie is now old enough to have a baby, and she has just had one.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Am I right?
And
How
like-
long did that take?
In like a crazy, looked like some kind of cult hospital.
I don't think it was her decision to have the baby there.
Oh.
She probably wasn't like, hey, I want to have a baby at the mines.
She was running away with her baby, and Michael Myers is like chasing her. He leaves-
Twist. She dies.
She dies right away. She stashed her baby in a cupboard though, and Paul Rudd is playing Tommy Doyle, who is the little kid that Jamie Lee Curtis was babysitting in the first Halloween. And he's grown up.
But he doesn't have blonde hair for some reason, and he doesn't dress like Chuck Norris.
It's Paul Rudd's first movie at any rate. Credited as Paul Stephen Rudd.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is a crazy, creepy Myers freak because of what he went through when he was a kid. He finds the baby, tells Dr. Loomis about it. Then this woman is living in the Myers household. What's her relation to everybody?
No one
I was
knows.
unclear about that. I wasn't sure if she was like the daughter or if she was adopted as well or what was going on.
I got the
wasn't-
vibe that she was adopted, which makes her, again, no bloodline at all to Michael Myers. He's just
So-
killing best friends at this point.
Yeah.
By Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, he originally killed his sister. Then he was trying to kill, in Halloween 2, he was trying to kill
His
his
other
younger
sister.
sister.
Yep.
By Halloween 4, which is the next time we see Michael Myers, he is trying to kill his sister's daughter.
5 is sister's daughter.
6
is
is his
sister's daughter's
son.
Yep.
Infant son. Who he never really gets a good crack at.
Yeah, he doesn't even freaking try.
No. Then they find out that the Man in Black freed Michael Myers because they're part of some kind of cult.
Some weird.
But it's not like a cult.
witchcrafty
But
type
it's not
of
like witchcraft either. They're like surgeons.
Felt it
With
tied back to the Druids thing.
astronomy and stuff.
Because
yeah.
Paul Rudd sits on his computer and points out the symbolism of the thorn.
Clearly we were confused by this one.
Visually though, it looked really cool.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely.
Paul Rudd was great, especially for it being his first role.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Halloween 6 breaks our no pants Annie rule.
Yep. I was more entertained watching this than the last couple.
Yeah,
but
definitely better pacing.
I agree.
better paced, but way more convoluted. The story is way more all over the place, and I didn't know who all the characters were or what they wanted.
Yeah, I never got a clear explanation of most of the characters.
Did I come at the right time?
Hey!
Hey!
What up, Rob?
What's up, man?
We are about to watch H2O.
So because Josh Hartnett is in it?
Hey.
Hey!
JGO!
Gordon-Levitt!
I'll be honest, if Joseph Gordon-Levitt was here, I'd kiss him on the mouth.
Jimmy!
Oh,
That's the car from Psycho.
Yeah.
And that's the Psycho theme. That's amazing.
Oh.
Damn!
Are you still?
Oh no!
She's a trooper, though. But you still got one.
Hang on to that.
Yeah, go down there and behead him.
Oh.
No, don't do that.
First,
I was dropping knives.
No!
She's always dropping knives.
first mistake from Jamie.
Yes! Halloween H2O.
Woo!
My favorite of the day
Two
so far.
Some of us
Classic.
favorite day.
I'm gonna do the
one.
Well, Halloween 1 is amazing and
Oh,
it's
and
classic.
it's classic.
But let's do the recap. Jamie Lee Curtis
Is back.
is back. Her death was faked. She never had a daughter named Jamie, but she does have a son named Josh Hartnett. And he looks great. This sucker is star-studded. We got JGL in the first 5 minutes.
Yep.
Janet Leigh from Psycho. Also Jamie Lee Curtis's real-life mother. Josh Hartnett. The kid from Little Man Tate. Michelle Williams. Jodie Lynn O'Keefe.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J. Adam Arkin. She is now headmistress. Yeah, at a very
Hogwarts.
private California school. Spent 20 years in hiding after faking her own death.
More Creed.
Yeah, great. Michael Myers is... Did they mention how he came back and all?
They just said that they never found his body.
Oh yeah, okay.
We don't know which movies they're claiming this is after.
Right.
I want to say it's after 2. I feel like they stole from 4 and 5, but they didn't actually use it.
Right. She's had a lot of post-traumatic stress based on the whole serial killer brother situation. She has a very, very good burgeoning relationship with Adam Arkin at the school, and her son resents her mightily. Then Michael Myers shows up on Halloween night to finally try and claim her life. Kills a bunch of the kids.
Yep.
This movie has so much more like character, dialogue, plot moments, like so much more character-based than the previous ones.
For
And
sure.
it was really enjoyable.
I feel like this movie had everything working for it. I mean, the cast was great, the story was great, music, production value, everything.
And then it comes down to Jamie facing off against Michael.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing, I don't want to say it's a fight sequence, but like her with the axe, then her with the freaking fire extinguisher on his back.
And then a whole drawer of knives.
Yeah,
I mean,
like everything that she did was just kudos.
yeah, it was great.
Like the tender moment at the end. That understanding of like, we're related, but
I hate your
still
guts.
gonna
Yeah.
do it.
I'm still gonna cut off your head.
Obviously, everyone seemed to enjoy H2O, but does it compare to the original?
I feel like it
Can you
gives so much
compare them,
more.
though? This is definitely a movie of the 90s.
The first movie is a horror classic, and it created so much of the slasher genre.
Yeah.
This, for today's audiences, is better written, just in terms of dialogue
Yeah.
and the pacing of it.
I was just gonna say that the pacing is much better.
It's just much more what we've come to expect. I just really liked it a lot.
I did too, man. One of my favorites for sure.
To get everyone excited after 6 other Halloweens, like we're all falling asleep at 4 and 5,
Yeah.
and 6 for that matter, and then all of a sudden to like be re-energized with H2O,
Yeah.
it gives it a lot more credit. Like now I'm like, Resurrection's got a chance!
The opening will change your mind.
And
what took you so long?
traffic was murder.
What? What?
You're in hell.
This
is so poorly written.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
I know it.
When are you gonna get out of your head and start thinking with your body?
Oh my god.
The writing is so good in this one.
This movie's a bag of shit. It is a bag of. Oh, 911.
Oh my god.
Are you okay, man?
So you wanna be on Dangertainment?
Don't do this.
No.
Don't do this.
You drop.
No.
Oh my god.
This movie just got so much better.
Trick or treat.
I knew he was gonna say.
We just finished watching Halloween Resurrection, and I want to review this before Phil gets back.
No! Don't you take this away from me. Jamie Lee Curtis, turns out that she murdered the wrong dude. With the axe.
And she's in a mental asylum for manslaughtering this other guy.
Michael Myers kills her, and, you know, she kisses him, because that's what you do to people that kill you.
They got wrapped up in the mythology. Jamie Lee Curtis kissing goodbye to the series that gave her her career, whatever ridiculousness. Laurie Strode would have no reason to kiss the mask of Michael Myers, ever. Ever.
No.
Let's put the knife down. We go back to Dangertainment, which is a real-world ghost hunters spin-off show. They're gonna do a piece where people are gonna investigate Michael Myers' house. They show up, they rig him with cameras, yada yada
Very
yada.
attractive individuals.
Turns out
Including, but not
Including-
limited to,
Starbuck.
Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
that Michael Myers
And
still lives there.
Thomas Ian Nicholas from American Pie.
Michael Myers kills people viral entertainment
Yeah,
style.
they've
and,
got the house all rigged up with like webcams.
yeah, and
So
then
people
there's
can watch it on the interwebs.
And
And
there's-
it's terrible.
yeah, then there's a boyfriend watching on the internet, and he helps save the day by
Yeah.
using the best texting device ever.
Busta Rhymes saves the day with Kung Fu.
Yeah, he's a kung fu master. That's why they show him watching the kung fu movie in the beginning.
Yeah, obviously means he knows Kung Fu. This has no business being a Halloween movie.
Disagree.
It feels even less like a Halloween movie than Season of the Witch does.
I think the only thing about it.
You're lying! How could you be this far into the process and lying to our audience like this?
I think-
I lie to the internet all the time.
The only things about this movie that make it a Halloween movie are
Michael
Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis. Otherwise, the rest of the movie is like.
Jamie Lee Curtis did not act
No.
like Laurie Strode, and
No.
Michael Myers does not belong anywhere near Busta Rhymes.
Couldn't disagree more. Continue. Obviously, this movie's and I admit that. But at the same time, like, it's fun crappy. Like, I feel like it's like Killer Clowns in Outer Space or
No, it's not.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
No.
Like,
No.
it's like You're not.
Nah.
If you,
It's so far outside of any logical mythology.
it feels like it took itself as a joke.
I don't feel like it ever took itself
I
as
don't
a joke.
think it did either.
I
But there's
thought
no
it was
reason
legit.
that we can't take
Yeah.
it as a joke.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
And I'm
true.
glad you can enjoy
That's
it on that
true.
level. I, however, cannot.
This movie is so bad, I am going to quit the entertainment industry completely.
That makes sense.
No.
We've been through a lot today.
It's only getting worse.
Here comes
Don't hurt this
Rob
mess.
Zombie's Halloween.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this one. Just debating whether I want to jump out the window and get to my car.
Already?
11 o'clock, I'm out of here.
I think I'm out at 10:30. I don't think I can do this.
I'm out at 10:30.
I understand, you guys.
Skip Resurrection.
And that was actually a very effective scene. Of the mask coming off and his mom seeing what he looked like underneath it. Everybody's just working too hard, you know?
Totally.
They're just trying to infuse Rob Zombie's ridiculous dialogue with as much personality as possible, and it comes off as overachieving. And it does not play at all.
Yep, I would take hardwood over that. I think.
That's how they do it. Halloween, Rob Zombie, 2007. The other guys took off because they had had it with the horrible people in the beginning of this movie. Understandable. But after a while, it kind of leveled out to relatively inoffensive people. The dudes they were dating were still pretty douchey.
But
Malcolm
that's in
McDowell.
the tradition of the Halloween franchise.
Exactly. Had a little bit of trouble, faded in and out towards the end of the third act there, just in terms of consciousness.
Third appearance of Mr. Sandman
Yep.
the song.
In the Halloween series as a total, second appearance of Don't Fear the Reaper. People are going to come to this as the first Halloween movie they see and feel like this is what Halloween's about, and it's just not. The situation is that for the first entire half of the movie, Michael Myers is like this hero who's killing the worst people you've ever met.
Except that he's not, because you don't have any feelings of heroicism for him.
No, but you also feel no feelings of wrongdoing when he's bludgeoning these people to death.
Yeah.
And in one instance, he saves this one inmate from 2 horrible security guards at the mental institution. When you're watching horror movies, you're supposed to be relating to the people that are running from the killer. You know, you're not supposed to be voting for the killer. I would give this a miss. This is a poor excuse for a Halloween movie.
It is, however, visually quite pretty.
Summary. The difference between this and the first Halloween is that you see Michael Myers as a young man for about 40 minutes of the movie. You see him as a little boy in the worst family environment ever. It's just tough going. He goes to a mental institution, you see him descend into madness, heads back to Haddonfield to kind of clean house by murdering everybody. Dr. Loomis, played by Malcolm McDowell this time, tracks him down, and one of the most resounding images for me of this picture is Laurie Strode, played by Scout Taylor Compton. At the end of this, she's like beat up, she's all bloody, and she shoots Michael in the face, and she just screams and screams and screams. And that is kind of a persistent image. It's pretty good.
It's pretty. I don't like Rob Zombie very much, which is too bad because I tend to like his visuals a lot.
I would be interested to see Rob Zombie direct a script he did not write. One more to go.
The weirdness.
And that's the decent part of this movie. It's now over.
Okay.
The whole hospital sequence is like legitimately tense horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
And now the rest of this is kind of like...
Alright, what do I have to do? Stand on this chair?
See, to
Still
me
don't
this
get you
just
in my
rings of
face? Yeah.
authenticity. You know?
Think I'm gonna go.
That's slice of life right there. This flick's got no momentum, man.
Right.
It's rudderless.
I know this is tertiary, but like, there's a towel right there. There's blood everywhere. She could be trying to staunch something instead of just letting her friend writhe naked in her own blood on the bathroom floor.
Sure. Well, let's wrap this up. Let's summarize. Starts out just like the other Halloween 2, in the hospital. Laurie Strode has been brought in after a night of anarchy. Michael Myers shows up and starts tearing people up. That's 25 minutes, and it is the best part of any of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. Intense, has forward momentum.
And it's an ode to the old one while being concise and cinematic.
She was just dreaming. It didn't happen at all. Like, after that night from Halloween 1, it's been 2 years, and she's got dreads and emotional problems. As, you know, fair enough. Loomis is on a book tour, and he's a jerk. And then she finds out that she's Michael Myers' sister, and so she wants to go to a party. They go to a party, and Michael Myers kills everybody, and there's no momentum to it at all. And at the end, he kidnaps her and takes her to this shack in the woods. He spends like half of his time in this movie not wearing the mask, just wearing like a big old Rob Zombie beard.
What was the point of like creating the whole thing where the mask is the thing that he hides behind? If you're just gonna shed it in the second movie.
Yeah, and he introduced the symbolism of having Sherry Moon Zombie, his wife, in a white gown with a white horse all throughout the picture, and have young Michael Myers appear next to regular old Michael Myers. And then at the end, Laurie Strode goes crazy and is committed and sees the white horse as well.
And this time, all of her friends have been killed, not just some of them.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 10. That's 10 movies. That's the Halloween 10. The best. It's hard to beat Halloween, the very first Halloween. It was a benchmark for the genre, really well paced and really well shot. But if I was going to have to watch one over and over again, I'd choose H2O. Halloween H2O is the most enjoyable of it. It's hard to say it's the best though, because Halloween 1 is just so amazing. Worst?
This was the worst of the ones that I saw. This was
Halloween 2?
terrible.
Yeah, the zombies pretty much tie for worst with me. And Resurrection. They're all just so bad. As for how it stacks up against the Nightmare on Elm Street marathon from last year, I would say that for a marathon setting, Nightmare on Elm Street works a lot better. It moves a lot faster, it's a lot more consistently inventive. Even when it's being bad, at least it's introducing different inventive concepts and dream scenarios. As for this, it just kind of starts to bleed together after a while. You see Michael Myers walking around with his mask, killing people, and it just kind of, you get desensitized to it, or I did at least. If you would like to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street, a marathon from last year, the Night Marathon from last year, there's a link right over there. Click away on it. Otherwise, thank you for joining us this year.
And I think it's time to go to bed.
What do you say, Michael? Time for bed? Happy Halloween, you guys.